Hello everyone, this is my presentation video. Thank you for watching. Uh, Firstly, let's go over New Zealand emergency history quickly. The 1931 Hawke's Bay earthquake could be viewed as the first time New Zealand government modern disaster response action. This time, central government provided directly assistance toward the local authority was collapsed in disaster. And second year, Public Safety Conservation Act 1932 was enforced, which empowered New Zealand government to proclaim a state of emergency when necessary. However, in a long period of time, especially during the World War II and Cold War, major nations all care more about human attack than natural disaster, such as a nuclear attack. Even with relative lonely location, New Zealand government followed the same ideology. The watershed happened in the 1968 Wahine shipwreck, which caused 51 people lost their lives. After the disaster, public pressure pushed the legislative reform and led to New Zealand government began to rank natural disaster management with higher priority. The Civil Defense Act 1983 recovery function was mentioned the first time in the written law, and is also the first time that enabled appointment of disaster recovery coordinator. Another wave of emergency reform happened in New Zealand during the 1990s, and these changes were embodied in the Civil Defence Emergency Management Act 2002, which is the cornerstone of current New Zealand civil defence and emergency management system. New Zealand is an island nation with a complex geography environment. That's the reason why New Zealand is always under high risk of a natural disaster. The most common and costly disaster in New Zealand is flood. For some reason, New Zealand flood happens with little warming time and affects those communities with large population. And the most destructive disaster might be earthquake and tsunami. New Zealand is unlikely set on the tectonic between the Australia and the Pacific plates. This caused a lot of earthquake and tsunami in this country. And New Zealand also have a high risk of volcano eruption. This kind of disaster already caused hundreds of deaths and has a great influence on transportation, agriculture, and tourism. And we have to mention some other kind of disaster include landslide, coastal hazards, severe wind, snowfall, and droughts. This is a map of New Zealand CDEM structure. As we can see, the CDEM Act 2002 was the fundamental law in the whole system, while the national CDEM strategy enlightened the direction and goal of the system. The National CDM Plan and the company tour documents are used to help achieve the goal in the CDM Act 2002 and the National CDM Strategy. The CDM group play key role in the local level. They have more daily duties than national agencies, and they also need to set up their CDM group plans. By the way, New Zealand CDM system is the bottom-up system. National level interventions only happen when CDM groups and other local authorities' capabilities were overwhelmed. The most important partner in New Zealand system is community. New Zealand has an ideology which named Resilient New Zealand. That means community should cooperate with government and build their own capability to resist natural disaster. And the Ministry of the CDEM always work as an emergency ideology creator and introduce new techniques to this nation. And the CDM groups works in local and build emergency management ability in their areas. Emergency service both practice create CDM group plan and also work in frontline during disaster. Lifeline utilities should keep service even during the major disaster. And there are some other participants with their special purpose and responsibilities. They are also important players in this game. I believe the major obstacle of the aging population is I believe the major obstacle is the aging population tendency. As a prediction, 25% of New Zealand population will be aged 65 and over in 2029. That means reduction of the emergency workers and the volunteers, and more elder people need care. and New Zealand have very complicated multicultural population, which might cause communication difficulty and impede emergency response. New Zealand attract a lot of tourism population from all over the world every year. This will make emergency management more difficult. Finally, thank you for watching, and have a good day.